What's up, everybody? This is Chris, and welcome back to At This Moment. Now, I know it's been a little while since I've come out with a motivational video. I really wanted to touch on some mental health stuff, only because with recent events that have happened in life, my mental health went for kind of a crazy, you know, a little bit crazy setback, mainly because I kind of mentioned in my back video that the whole family here got COVID. And when you are waiting for the worst to happen, when you find out that you do have COVID, it really puts a mental strain on you. And it was really tough. So a little bit of a backstory on that. It all started like right after the Christmas time, I think right after New Year's. My daughter comes into the room, my oldest, and she's telling us she has a fever. And we're like, oh my goodness. So, I didn't sleep at all that night. I was thinking the worst. I was like, okay, she's going to come in a minute saying that she's having trouble breathing. We're going to be down in the ER. And the ER was one of the worst places you could be, mainly because of all the COVID patients in there. And it was just a terrible situation. So we got through the night. I took her to an urgent care the next morning. And of course, her test results came back. She had COVID. And then later on, during the following week, she was quarantined in my wife and I's bedroom. She was stationed up there all by herself. All we would do is just take her food. We would sanitize like crazy when we were done taking her food, or just anything that she needed, her meds. My brother-in-law, he's a nurse, so he was, telling us, the vitamins to take, the zinc, the D3, the vitamin C, a nice stack of immune vitamins. And later on that week, I was feeling really bad. I think it was like a Wednesday or Thursday. I was just at work and I was just like, I just felt like a zombie. So, to take some precautions, I went down, I got myself tested. It came back negative, which seemed kind of weird. But, I just went with the flow. It said it was a negative test, so I just went about my business. I went through the weekend, still feeling really, really terrible. So I went back, I believe that following Monday, I tested again, and yes, I came back positive. So, they did the whole deal. They put me off from work for 5 days, and I was just expecting the worst. At first it wasn't too bad. I'm like, oh, okay, it's not too bad. I just have some body aches. The headache was going, but then like when nighttime started to come around, and nobody was awake with me, or I knew nobody was going to be awake with me, is when my brain really, really started messing with me. It was like, is tonight going to be the night that I can't breathe? Am I going to be able to not breathe to the point where nobody can hear me struggling to breathe? It was just terrible. My anxiety went through the roof. I couldn't focus on anything but making sure that I could breathe. It was just terrible. I think, for a few nights, I couldn't get to sleep. I was sleeping maybe 3-4 hours at the most. It was just a really, really terrible experience. And the lingering effect that mental stress had on me, it really affected everything I was trying to do. It affected me wanting to put video content out. It affected me wanting to stick to my diet. Just everything. Everything kind of went for a loop. That happened way back in January. And we're here at almost the end of March. And I'm barely feeling like, okay, I can do this. I've been doing my workouts, but not as consistent as I used to. The diet thing, I would go real hardcore with a good meal plan and everything. And then all of a sudden I would slip off. I would have, just a burrito or, like a bag of chips or something. It's just, that's one thing I've struggled with all my life when it comes to my weight, is just the mental stress of everything. I've always been a stressful eater, and it just seemed like, I relapsed again. And the voices, inside my head that I've always dealt with, they started to come back. And I found a TikTok video. I'm gonna post it up here. is a very, very interesting video because honestly, it spoke to everything I go through when I am battling the voices in my head. So let's take a quick break here and watch this video. Hey, what's up, everybody? So I had to do a voiceover for this TikTok video because I kept getting a copyright strike on the video. So I had to mute all the sound, even though the sound was the best part of the video, because it really dug into what the video was all about. But anyways, here we go. So when the video is talking about when the voices get loud or too loud, the voices in his head are telling him that he's a loser, that he can't do this, that he's gonna fail, that he should just give up. And the world thinks he's a failure and he's no good to anything. So of course he gets his gloves going. He fights the demons that are inside of his head that are telling him that he can't succeed at this. So honestly, and he just works. That video has it had a very, very big effect on me because that's exactly what I go through when I feel I'm not doing my best, or I feel life is getting the best of me and I'm not sticking to what I need to stick to. And it's nothing that I've really been vocal about, but I do beat myself up a lot with any situation, even if it comes to work. I was mad at myself just the other night because when I barbecued some food, there was certain food that didn't cook properly, and it just seemed like it was going to take forever. And it's just something that, I need to really work on, is how how hard I am on myself. I mean, in some aspects it's good because I think it's helped develop me a good work ethic. And, I always want to be to work on time. I always want to make sure everything gets done in a timely manner. But then I think sometimes I just beat myself up too much over the little things. And, when I went through the COVID stint and I went through the not being able to move, being very lethargic, didn't have any energy whatsoever, it just kind of made, everything come back like, oh, here we go again. You're going to relapse. You're not going to succeed. And it was just really tough. So I really wanted to make my Motivational Mondays part of Mental Health Mondays. And that TikTok just was perfect because it showed the mental health struggles with the voices. And then it also showed him succeeding, which is the motivation. It just wants to get you started. I also wanted to share a pretty cool article that I found, and it was called 31 Tips to Boost Your Mental Health. And it's actually from Mental Health America. I'll post the link in the bottom of the video if you want to check it out. But so step 1, or tip 1, it says, take gratitude and achievement with a journal. Include 3 things you were grateful for and 3 things you were able to accomplish each day. Start your day with a cup of coffee. Coffee consumption is linked to lower rates of depression. If you can't drink coffee because of the caffeine, try any other good-for-you drink like green tea. Set up a getaway. It could be camping with friends or a trip to the tropics. The act of planning a vacation and having something to look forward to can boost your overall happiness up to 8 weeks. Work your strengths. Do something you're good at, build self-confidence, then tackle a tougher task. Keep it cool for a good night's sleep. The optimal temperature is sleep is between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 6, you don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take a few steps. That was from Martin Luther King Jr. Think of something in your life you want to improve and figure out what you can do to take a step in the right direction. So kind of like how it was with this little relapse. The staircase was just huge and probably looked like it was impossible. But you know what? I was like, I'm going to do it. I hit that first step. I'm hitting the ground going, and here we go. Experiment with a new recipe. Write a poem. I've actually written a couple. I'll share those maybe in another video. Paint or try a Pinterest project. Creative expression and overall well-being are linked. So I've been kind of experimenting, like meal prepping videos that I found on YouTube. We will be doing a reaction to a really cool video and really good recipe that I found. Show some love in someone in your life. Close, quality relationships are key for a happy, healthy life. Boost brain power by treating yourself to a couple pieces of dark chocolate every few days. The flavonoids, caffeine, and theobromine in chocolate are thought to work together to improve alertness and mental skills. Chocolate's good. And number 10, I'm only going to do the top 10 because I want to probably touch on some things in later videos. There's no greater agony than bearing the untold story inside you. That was told by Maya Angelou. If you ever have personal experience with mental illness or recovery, share it on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr with hashtag mental illness feels like. Check out what other people are saying. So, I mean, that's kind of like what I do here with you guys. You know, just put it out there, everything that I'm going through. And it's been helping. And that's one thing that I kind of steered away from. I wasn't doing the YouTube as much. As you saw, you know, there was months in between videos. So I just really wanted to get back into that. Sorry. Talking about this has always been really tough. So sometimes I get a little emotional and my mouth gets really dry. And so I needed to take a drink of water. But, you know, I mean, I've been dealing with my weight all my life. And I think, you know, going down this mental health, motivational talkings, I should really start letting you into that. I've always been heavy since I was little. Since the earliest pictures that I could see of myself, I was always a chunky little boy. You know, of course, bigger than most kids. And I think a lot of situations in my life have led to the long term of struggling with, you know, some people, you know, struggling with my weight. Some people start smoking at a young age. Some people start drinking at a young age. Well, at a really young age, I started eating. My parents got divorced when I was really young, and I think that had a lot to do with it. And then also growing up, my parents commuted for work. So what was the fastest thing to eat? Fast food. And as a little kid, you're like, no, I want that Happy Meal with the nuggets or the cheeseburger. I was never thinking of a healthy alternative. And of course, you know, the sodas and everything, that's all that I wanted. And that's all that I felt that I needed. So that's pretty much step one into letting you into a small part of the background and everything that's happened. But as far as motivation, please listen to those steps, write them down, start making a journal. I don't care if you're old school with pen and paper or if you're new school like me with the iPad and the Apple Pencil. Just do whatever you got to do to document it. Throw a video together. Send me a video recording of yourself. I'll throw it up on the channel. You know, you're always free to DM me on At This Moment, as you can see right below. That's where you can find me on Instagram. I'm open to discuss anything, whether it stays private, whether it goes public on the channel. It doesn't matter. Just know that no matter what goes on, no matter how high gas prices go or how high the cost of food goes, everything in the end is going to be all right as long as you take care of yourself first. So once again, this is Motivation Monday. Keep yourself fighting. Keep yourself grinding. This is At This Moment. And until next time, just take care of yourself. Keep grinding. Do what you got to do. Peace out.